Good morning, everyone. This is Casey Wheelis with WVLT News. Wanted to give you an update on that serious flooding that happened in Cocke County overnight. We have had crews out in the area all morning long. The good news this morning, that water is now receding. I want to show you what it looked like, though, this morning at its peak. This is the Pigeon River in downtown Newport area there. You can see just how high those water levels were, covering roads and approaching houses. Last night, just before midnight, about 100 people were evacuated from their homes along the Pigeon River, the French Broad River, and the Cocke River as well throughout Cocke County. Now, I'll kind of paint a picture for you. This is one of the rivers, Pigeon River, but also there are homes that are just posted up right next to shore. A lot of them used to flooding when it happens, but some of them saying they have not seen flood levels like this since 2004. So it's been about 17 years now since they've seen something like this. Now, we did talk to the emergency management director just after 7 a.m. this morning. Here's what he had to say.
I was in contact with Duke Energy later into the afternoon, as well as the National Weather Service in Morristown, keeping the mayor constantly updated on things that were changing, sometimes rapidly. Once I advised her that I felt like we had a dangerous situation for the people on and near the Pigeon and French Broad rivers, she made the call to order the evacuation of all the low-lying areas. The Waterville Dam, the power plant, and emergency response here in Cocke County work very well together. They keep us informed, sometimes on the half hour, on exactly how many gates are being opened. At one point last night in the wee hours, they were at 11 and a half gates out of 14 that were open. Now we're down to 6. They crested at the dam at about 4 o'clock this morning. The power plant up on Waterville Road crested at about 5:30, and we crested about 40 minutes ago. So what we're going to start seeing is water levels dropping. And the goal is to, the 4 shelters that were open last night, one of them's already been closed down. People have gone home. The goal is to get those other 3 shelters, the residents, back in their homes as soon as it's safe, get those schools back to operating normally, get the Red Cross trailer loaded back up and resupplied and staged, and get ready for whatever's coming today.
So that is the EMA director there for Cocke County talking about all the efforts they made last night to make sure everyone living near these rivers would be safe. So as you heard him say, one of those shelters closed down as those people are headed back home. We are hoping to hear that many of the other people who stayed in shelters overnight, that's also the case for them. I want to show you some of the earliest video we have. It's a little dark here, but you can just see how fast that river was flowing there in downtown Newport. Crews working through the night to make sure everyone stayed safe in this situation. So we're told more than 100 people were evacuated from their homes. And where did they go? They went to shelters within the area, and that meant some of the gymnasiums in the high schools in Cocke County. A lot of people saying they opened up their homes to people they knew, even people they didn't know. Some people telling us that they even slept in their cars overnight. So Cocke County schools closed today, but you heard the EMA director there saying he's hoping that they can get schools back going tomorrow before another round of rain comes through. I want to show you, for those of you just joining us, we're wanting to update you this morning on the flooding situation in Cocke County. Those levels are still high in some of the rivers, but they are receding, which is really good news for a lot of people who live in this community. Now, you might be asking, some of these houses that are right there on the edge, maybe they're used to flooding. Well, they said, yeah, but not like this. They haven't seen anything like this since 2004. Emergency management working overnight to make sure that everyone stayed safe, working with the mayor there to make sure that people got out of the area, got to higher ground, and they are okay. And that is the good news this morning. They did a great job at that because we have no injuries to report, which is really good news. In a situation like this, it can be so scary, especially when those floodwaters go so fast. Now, we had some video earlier. I want to show you right here on this is our WVLT.TV website. You can also find this on our news app. But you can see that's a Yukon that was flipped on its side when it was just a few feet of water swept it away. Now, the person inside this car, we're told, got out okay. They are safe this morning, but it just goes to show it doesn't matter how big your car is. When you can't see the road, that's dangerous, especially in a situation like this. So for those of you just joining us this morning, wanting to just give you an update on that Cocke County flooding, there are about 100 people that were evacuated last night, and they are going to be okay this morning. Now, we're still waiting to hear when they'll be able to go back to their homes. This morning, some of them already have in some areas where that water has receded, but really the Pigeon River is the main area where people are concerned as that water is still kind of high. So we have a couple crews out in the area. Our Kyle Granger was out there just in the downtown area, River Road area, and he said within the last couple of hours, that water has started to recede. You can start seeing the road again. If you're taking a look at this video, you can see where that road goes right down, and it looks like it just joins into the river. This was earlier today. This was just after sunrise, so just after 7 o'clock Eastern time here in Tennessee. Now, we're seeing a lot of flooding issues also in North Carolina. Of course, that water flows downstream, so we saw a lot of that water here in Cocke County. We had a little bit of warning, but not too much. This is what it looked like early this morning as crews were working around the clock to just do what they can to make sure everyone stays safe, and in this case, they did. We're going to continue to update you all day long. We've got live crews out in the field. As I said, that water is receding, but it is still dangerous as now there's a lot of debris left behind. We've seen cars, we've seen mailboxes, we've seen full tree systems with the roots still intact flowing down the river and flowing down, in some cases, what used to be roads. So my name's Casey Wheelis. We're going to keep you updated all day long right here on our WVLT Facebook page, as well as our newscasts and our WVLT News app.